Hello all, greetings. This is Gilles Mencion. I wanted to come and say hello, wish you a good day. I was gonna maybe reduce the number of videos that I was gonna make because I know the less you speak, the more you are heard, the more you are listened to. But Spirit, and so to go into 1 week or once a week or once a month, but Spirit said, well, it says that would be a shame, and so I'm going to continue to do those messages for as long as I have the time. I wanted to speak about the breath, for the breath is essential. It is our connection to life. It is something that we are given freely from God as we reincarnate. Our heart beating and our ability to breathe is something we do not need to be conscious about. It is something that is completely natural. Yet as we become more conscious of our breath, we are able to utilize it in a more powerful way. And so for me, I used to be a smoker. I completely stopped about 40 days ago, and so but I'm running every day. But it will take a while to go all the way down to be able to empty my lungs completely out. For it is we have all kinds of things that are stuck in the bottom of our lung because we never are able to fully breathe it out. There's all kinds of things. So working out is very important. When it says that there is within the air, there is this prana, this light force, this God-given force that if we envision this light coming into our body with every breath we take, it is the point where God is coming inside of us, and as we expand, we breathe out. This is our creative flow. We can use a breathe stress out, but you can breathe our love and creativity. And so it is a constant connection between God and you as you work with this breath, this idea of breathing. The point of connection between the in-breath and the out-breath is the point of connection between you and God. It is a technique. Also, the infinity breath that was taught by Archangel Michael, as we connect to a vortex that englobe our higher heart, our thymus, our heart, and our solar plexus. We fill it with divine light, and then we send it back to our roots, and then we let it flow through the spine, and then we can send it down to the earth. We can send it upwards, and so that our light connects to the light of the sun and the whole solar system and the great central sun, and the whole universe has been connected with this light, and we connect our light and then we bring back our own light that is already connected to all the galaxies, and so it is all kinds of process that we can work from through the breath. For the breath is really a gift. It's something that we have in abundance. It is something very precious that we have in abundance. And so it is. We are moving from 3D to 4D, and so it's the power of imagination is very powerful. We have to focus on what we want, and as we make this ascension because right now we're moving through this 4D, but we're making the ascension from 3D to 5D, and so it is something we'll do only once in this. It is quite an amazing process, and so we don't want to rush the process. We want to be able to. Although we do want to get it done as in a way to be free as soon as possible. For those who are looking at us from the upper plane, they say, "Well, take your time." But they look at this life from a point of ecstatic state of being in the bliss of the divine light, and they don't always understand how sometimes painful it can be just to exist in a physical body. And even sometimes this transmutation, as our cell become crystallized, it can be very painful. It can be like my back is really sometimes in pain. If I have my wings that are growing, but it's painful. But then once they'll be grown, maybe I'll be able to fly. So it's going to be nice. So it's important to take the time to rest and take care of yourself, to do this purification, this cleansing as much as possible for the new light to come in. For the body, it's like a beautiful crystal that needs to be loved and cleansed and clear in order to be enjoyed. It is a magnificent temple. It is a universe, but we have to attune to the higher frequency of light in order to fully enjoy it and open the doorways to the sky so that we can come in and out and not be entrapped in this physical body. For this is really something that is happening. I'm going to pull a few cards. I have a very I'm coming to realize that something that's been part of my energetic process is that I'm the most important planet in my chart is the planet Chiron. It's a planet that I have a conjunction with my sun. It's also where my master guide lives or my soul family lives. A very advanced planet, very spiritual. I'm trying to align with this frequency, but it is the wounded healer. It means it's very easy for me to heal people or to bring situation, but to heal myself, I'm completely dependent on outer reflection of the world. I'm completely, and I cannot heal myself. But I'm always wounded because of that process. So it's something I have to accept, although it is a difficult situation because you find that you have solution for others, but you may not have the solution for yourself. So you are so it is something. Yet I'm sure there is always meaning behind all things that are happening in our life. For the highest wisdom is the healer. The healer is the highest wisdom. What we need to understand is the effort. We need to produce a certain effort. What we need to do is the responsibility to fulfill whatever responsibility our soul has chosen. And the outcome is limitation, accepting the limitation in order to transcend them. For we want to return to this infinite state of being where there is this freedom that is connected to that infinity. For I feel a lot more connected to the truth that I'm looking for within myself than any dogma, any aspect of dogmatism. I'm more looking for it's certain things that are maybe wise for certain people, certain religious paths or whatever, but they do not resonate with me. And so I have to let go of many things. Like I'm finishing to read the Urantia books, a book I recommend, for there's much wisdom in it and it influenced a lot. The first two parts mostly influenced a lot my work. But I see in the teaching of the Christ at the end, as I am finishing it, it's like it really does not resonate with me. But in many sense, the Christ, Sananda, this is a beloved friend and brother that I communicate with him regularly, and his teaching now are very different than what he was when he was in the flesh. But when he was incarnated, as we see in the Urantia, he did not believe in reincarnation. He didn't believe in cause and effect. Everything was random in life, and you lived only once. You only one life. Then you disappear, or if you had a good life, you go to paradise. But there was that did not believe in there was to me that I know I've been here many times. I've reincarnated over and over again, and it's like something I cannot deny, no matter what a book may say. It's like it doesn't. So there is a certain things that I cannot like. Also, he says that in order to serve God, you have to let go of your family, to abandon your family, and to abandon everything you have in order to become to be poor and to work as a poor person in order to teach about the spiritual kingdom. Maybe that was right at the certain time in his social cultural context of what he was needing to teach, but I do not think that poverty and the ability to abandon your family is necessary in order to find God. For God is love, and God is all inclusive, and so there is certain responsibility we need to so there are certain things in the Urantia book that I do not connect with. But there is a higher intelligence behind that, so I have to respect and understand that everything has meaning and reason, and will find its place in due time. Also to understand that what we seek is the more, when we are certain about wanting something, the more we integrate what we want, the faster it comes to us. I want to speak about money a little bit because it's something we live in a society that's highly monetarized, and so the money can be really kind. It can be this wonderful thing when you have, but when you don't, money, some people, like if they miss a payment on their house, they have a loan on their house, they can be repossessed and be left with nothing, or they don't have enough money to pay their taxes. They can be thrown in jail, and it's like we're a really hard society. It's really cold-hearted. So we need to move from a society based on lack to a society based on abundance, and then we'll be able to be free from money, and everybody will have everything. But for now, it is good to imagine that you have a secret account, like somebody somewhere there is this great big account with millions of dollars, euros, whatever. But you can't really touch it, but it's yours, and so that can bring you the confidence to activate those flows, or like a secret cavern with all kinds of treasures that you will get, that you can get, and so that can give you access to this understanding, this knowledge that you already have this abundance. It's just a matter of manifesting it, and as you know you already have it, you build your confidence, and you can actually manifest that every day in every way that money flows to us. I've always had plenty of money, enough in my life to live. Right now there's still a little bit of tension, but I know there's a lot of abundance before me, and I have all my paintings. I have thousands of paintings. I have my book I can publish, so I'm not left without resources. I'm just sometimes it is difficult to feel that you are infinitely wealthy when you are struggling with those material things, but it is a transitory thing. It's like it's an experience for feeling the abundance will be far more enjoyable than even that the experience of lack will make you appreciate abundance a lot more. It's like to rediscover God. The fact that we've been separated from the love of God, well, the ascension will be so much more enjoyable than if we never had this separation. So there is reason and meaning behind all things. I want to say it's important to stop negative thoughts and negative opinion about anything, for everything. Sometimes we have to adjust. We have to feel like we are. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to someone and I'm talking about the whole situation, and I feel like I'm like this victim thing, or it's like this critics or whatever. But now I'm correcting that, because there is really no reason to be in any way, shape, or form to be in a negative pattern. For everybody's on this cycle, and so it's about letting go of all kinds of things and readjusting our thoughts always to find the positive in things, the more as much as possible. For Einstein says that in light, either everything is miraculous or nothing is miraculous. So it's important to see life as a miracle. In fourth dimension, we'll be able to create all kinds of magic but we have to believe. Those people that we cannot help, that are not in our frequency, we have to let them go. We want to help everybody, but those who do not want our help, let them go. There's no need to save anybody else or save the planet or save all those things. Just be free, enjoy your life, and by doing that, you'll influence more people to be more conscious, and by there the frequency rise, and everything will find its place. For there is a greater plan. Everything is orchestrated. Everything is precisely orchestrated from on high. And to trust God, like Spinoza said, that everything is infinitely perfect. Now we have certain responsibility to make it, to improve whatever everything is perfect for what they're teaching us, but we have the responsibility to improve whatever we need to improve in order to augment this perfection, and to move into this state of gratitude and making progress every day. I'm continue this reading of the Thought, the Atlantean. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. I've done it 90 times. He says to read it 100 times, but he also said in the book that you always have to do always more than what is asked of you. To always do a little bit more. So I'm going to do it 110 times. I thought I won't stop at 100 times. And the more I'm doing it in audiobook. But the more you can read it, but the more it is very, very powerful. There's really nothing to say about this book. It's just pure wisdom. Although no words can ever. Every path is unique. Every aspect of life is unique. No words can. Ever convey the truth of the infinite God that we are seeking. But so there's always a context within. Everything has to be taken within context. All the great book, so it's like I'm sorry if I did complain. I hope I did not do too much of a complaining. Behind me is a painting from 1989. It's from the first painting it's from Confucius. It's a poem. I've got a lot of new paintings that are coming up. I'm not sleeping much, but since I don't sleep much, I feel like I get up and I paint, and so my paintings are moving forwards. Today is a beautiful card. The card of the day from the Archangel is the 4 of Gabriel. It's a card of relationship, of love, of intimacy. It says, after the effort, the recomfort. You are harvesting the fruits of your work. Get rid of all situations that are oppressing you. It's a beautiful, magical card. So we are moving into the realm of magic, into this realm of abundance, the realm of freedom, and so let us rejoice. And I hope you will feel that, and every day you can understand, you can integrate more of that and have more gratitude, and we soon will be able to move this life into a paradise for ourselves, and then slowly we'll expand this paradise state of being to every being that we meet. And I'll finish with a song. It's a song of Cat Stevens about the joy of the recreation of the day, each and every day. It goes like this. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, hidden so plain. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world. Well, thank you for sticking till the end. I'm sorry I didn't mean to complain again. But sometimes I still have to making those adjustments, and I'm like still working on my process. But I'm very very close to my integration. I mean, more and more. For I had to forget everything I had learned in order to relearn everything in this new phase of this new phase of life. Also, I wanted to say that everybody's here talking about, well, tomorrow there's 3 feet of snow. Be ready, but it's like no snow here. I know in France there's some snow, and if you're in America, just stay warm. I heard it's very cold on the East Coast. So I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.